these rehabilitative new cutting-edge rehabilitative approaches for people with disabilities in the long run, and addressing the issues that people with disabilities face in a 360-degree manner, right? So ultimately, the world records are conceptualized to be able to create the human ability biomes. Now, the biomes are standalone ecosystems where we plan to combine reskilling, rehabilitation, education, and research for people with disabilities, where a person with disability, when he walks into the facility, he can undergo rehabilitation while getting skilled and while upskilling himself and while educating himself further. And while he is going through all of this is being researched so that these things can be institutionalized for the rest of the people. And then he is given a holistic environment which enables him to reintegrate into the mainstream society in a wholesome manner. So that's the long-term vision behind the execution of the 3 world records. So we had conducted a pilot of the same. What you see in your screen is a healing center in Auroville in Pondicherry. This is where we had conducted our training in the month of January to March this year, where we had trained the Indian contingent for the water world record. And also we had done the first pilot for the human ability biome, where we did aggregate rehabilitative approaches from the mainstream medicine and alternate medicine, and also conducted skilling modules for people with disabilities and able-bodied together. So that's one of our core ideas, where we feel that, it's one thing to be training people with disabilities in a standalone manner, but it is far more powerful to be training them alongside non-disabled people, because that leads to mutual understanding, where they understand the spirit of a person with disabilities. They understand that he is also yet another person like me. There's a lot of stigma, myth, and misunderstanding which fades away when people with disabilities and non-disabled people train together, work together, play together, and eat together. So that was a very beautiful experience and a learning for us. So we plan to create a similar biomes in India and across the globe, where we can combine all of these aspects for people with disabilities. So all of these biomes will feed into a matrix. The matrix will be a platform which will aggregate the rehabilitative processes, research into various products and services, and aggregate employment networks for people with disabilities. So Operation Blue Freedom, Adaptive Adventure Spots does take a powerful first step, where it portrays them in a certain particular light, but it needs to be followed up by everyday freedom. Everyday freedom comes from financial independence. Financial independence comes from real-time jobs, right? So that is where we want to address this issue fair and square. So that's where the biomes feed into the matrix, which will